Hi, I'm Sammi Silber. I am the Capitals lead writer at the Hockey News, and you're watching Rest of District.
Here we go.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Ref the District. I'm Nathan. That's the Stoner, and the season is just kaput for the Washington Capitals. Might as well put them all in the penalty box there, Stoner, as there wasn't much fun to be had outside of Ovi chasing the dream, making himself the most prolific scorer in NHL history. Stoner, what was the worst thing to this season outside of missing the playoffs?
There's nothing worse than missing the playoffs in the NHL, because now we just have to sit around all spring and watch the Nats lose 100 games and wait for training camp for the Commanders, because we got nothing going on with the Cap. So nothing worse than missing the playoffs, because I'm just not used to it.
Yeah, it's been a while. First round exits, not great, but those are at least better than missing the playoffs. I mentioned the penalty box, and that's because we have the first lady of hockey joining us here from the penalty box. Sammi Silber, thanks for joining us here again. You have a new position, not necessarily on the hockey and on the ice play, even though again you're in the penalty box right now. Could you just talk to us about your new position?
Yeah, no, it's been I'm happy. Well, first of all, thanks for having me in my natural habitat of penalty box. No, I'm loving it. So made the move. I signed an entry-level contract. No, I'm just kidding. I went to join the Hockey News and lead their Washington Capitals team coverage, and I've been doing it for about 2 weeks now.
Yeah,
and I'm loving every minute of it. So it's been awesome, and I want to keep it going. So.
Well, congrats on that new position there. And Stoner looks like he was going to jump in on this.
I was just going to ask you, Sammi, how long have you been on the Capitals beat now and getting to know these players and understand this team?
Yeah, this is my first year covering them, actually. I've been a fan since I was younger, and I started writing about them when I was in my teens, and then my first season covering them was actually when they won the Stanley Cup.
Nice.
So I was spoiled that year. Yeah, it was pretty cool actually, because you get to just kind of sit there and enjoy the ride, and you're a kid and you just turned 21, and at the same time you turn 21, it's game one of the finals, so it's all fun and games. This is, that being said, 2017-18.
Do the math.
Yeah.
6 seasons.
So, Sammi, you've been covering 6 seasons now, and obviously you said you started with the best season they could possibly manage, where they're hoisting the cup. This season they missed the playoffs. What happened from the team's perspective that you think that, again, this was a playoff caliber team in January, as of January 1st, they had the 5th best record in the East, and then they missed the playoffs. So from a team's perspective, how did that happen?
Yeah, it's a tough season. It's not an easy one. It was a shaky start. The start wasn't what they wanted. And then things really turned around. They had a meeting in December, and after that leadership meeting, things kind of took a turn, and they, despite losing Kemper and, being a little shorthanded, they were able to, surge in December. And then, John Carlson's injury, thank goodness he's okay. But when something like that happens, and you take that kind of leader and that kind of, caliber player out of the lineup, it causes some inconsistency, some problems, and it's just no easy, void to fill. And I think when you look at that, you kind of see that after that December, that's kind of where the inconsistency started. You had some nights where there were really strong outings through 60 minutes and, it would be a really dominant win from start to finish, or there'd be some nights where they come out and the start isn't strong, and then there are these rallies that are too little, too late, and then Backy and Willie come back, and you also got to adjust to having those guys come back after missing, quite a bit of time, and then finding new lines that work, finding the chemistry with these players coming back in, and it's just one thing after another, and I think all of it at some point just kind of builds up, and you need to be able to play with consistency and a full 60 minutes every night. It's either start strong, step off the gas, or lack life early, and then you find it later, and then it's too late. And I think that was kind of the beginning of where things started to spiral.
Now you're there every day, and you talk to these guys. You see them in practice. You see them before the game, after, all that stuff. And when this thing happened with Ovi, obviously it was a very difficult situation for him when his father passed. He had to leave the team. Then did you notice from that point on, through the end of the season, did you notice a difference in his demeanor and how he was interacting, or was he just the same guy no matter when it came to being on the ice?
I was talking to Matt Irwin about this the other day, and a couple of the guys. The incredible thing about Alex, he's a leader and a guy who doesn't. Matt Irwin put it best. He doesn't waver. Things can happen, and he doesn't, falter, stumble, or lack care. That man is the most passionate guy about hockey. He loves hockey. He loves to play. And, not only, that, which is absolutely, he called it one of the most difficult years of his career when something like that happens, but it's also, you're dealing with that. You're not feeling 100%. You're also dealing with injuries on 3 separate occasions, which has never happened to him in his career before, right? So it's, but to see his resilience and how, he wants to win, it's not, you look at a guy like that and you cover a guy like that, and it's not about the goals record. It's not about, this or that, or, who he is. It's the team. He wants to win. He wants another Stanley Cup, and it's incredibly disappointing when a season, goes like this, but at the same time, you still got to lead. You still got to be a leader, and he's done that. So, has the mood always been, great? Is everybody, happy jumping around after a loss? No, but that's also not really what a leader does. You know what I mean? Like, you keep the spirits high and you say, let's go to work, but you also don't, you ebb and flow with the emotions. So it's a challenging role, but he hasn't wavered at all. No.
That's something that's been kind of the biggest part of what we're looking at from a Capitals fan perspective, and something you get kind of first perspective on, is we know that Ovi doesn't want to have a meaningless chase to the top of the record books, right? He wants to get another Stanley Cup. So what's the team's plan to help him out? This is an old roster. Are they going to be able to infuse this with some younger guys, or does that look like too much of a rebuild where Ovi might not kind of appreciate that? So what's the plan from the team's perspective to get Ovi into a meaningful season again?
Man, I should have kept the helmet on. No. I mean, you said it, right? I mean, it's an older team. It's a older roster. And things haven't worked the way they've thought it would go. I mean, if it did and everything was grand and dandy and there were no, chances of change, we wouldn't be sitting here right now, with so many departures happening at the deadline, right? Like, there wouldn't have been any retooling on the fly if nothing was wrong. And, if you look and your team's out of the playoffs and doesn't qualify and there's not even any fight, in the end, no matter what you do in these style games, it doesn't matter. That's not going to indicate, hey, everything's great right now. There's something wrong there. So I think we'll see some changes this summer. I expect a big summer change. There's, there's things that need to be addressed. There's so many prospects coming up the pipeline, and work that not only has to be done for the now, but for the future too. The window's only open so long, but you also have contracts coming up, like Backstrom's contract ending soon, and Kuznetsov's ending soon, and this and that. You have to take all of that into consideration, and you guys see, okay, where the Washington Capitals is going to be in 2025, 2026, and and they started doing that. That's why you saw the Strome extension and the Milano extension, and those things that we started seeing these guys sign, like them, but then also Nick Jensen and Trevor Van Riemsdyk, staying on board, and bringing in a young guy like Rasmus, so I think that there's a lot that needs to be considered, and it's not just for. I mean, you want to stay a contender, that's been the standard. That's the standard of the organization, and the boys in there, they want to win. So it's not. I mean, it's about that, but it's also about you got to look at the years ahead when Ovi's numbers hanging in the rafters and all that stuff. So
are McClellan and Laviolette, are they anti-young guys? We all see the potential of the Sniveleys and of the McMichaels and of LaPierre, of Protas, guys like that who just don't seem to be able to come up and play every night. And even when they are up, they either get scratched or they get few minutes. Are they anti-young guy that they don't want to play guys for the future?
I don't think so. I think you hear this a lot, and trust me, I see it on Twitter. I see it.
Sure.
I see it everywhere. I'm not, y'all think I don't read my mentions, but I do.
Right.
I just choose not to respond to some of them.
Yeah.
Which makes me sound really mean, but no. But no, I don't think so. I think that's tough. I think that you got a full roster, and you got a bunch of guys who are NHL caliber players, and they're all settled in this spot on this team. And you have different situations. You have power play, you have penalty kill, you have so many different, times that these things come up in games, that you can have 5 power plays in one game and you're going to put your top, guys out there. You have 5 penalty kills in one game. Those guys are going to eat up a lot of the minutes. But you've seen, Protas take on a bigger role. He's been up this year. In the case of McMichael, there were scratches, but where are you going to put him? There's lines that are set, and I think when you have, you have a training camp and you see a guy like Protas really stand out, and then he wins the spot and he's in the lineup. That's kind of just the ebbs and flows of it. It's not from anybody being like, oh, I hate young people. If that was the case, then they wouldn't have bought in Rasmus Sandin for Gustafsson. That's not a thing that would have happened if you're anti-young. And if you're anti-young, you also wouldn't be playing Rasmus Sandin for 25 minutes a night when John Carlson's still recovering. You wouldn't be doing that. I mean, and I think McMichael needed more time in the AHL. I do. I think that, sitting up in the NHL as a scratch and practicing isn't getting you anywhere. And same with Snives. Snively's come up, and when he has come up and been in, he's been good. And there's just not always space. If you have Nicolas Aube-Kubel, who comes in off waivers, you're going to play that guy, see what he can do, and he proves to have good chemistry. You're not going to ebb that up. So it's a lot of stuff that doesn't necessarily just depend on, oh, this is the coach and his decision. It's so much goes into line combinations, and
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I don't envy anybody who has that role.
Kind of on the coach decision kind of things. This is, we had back-to-back years with a early first round exit. We've had now a missed playoff season. Hockey's not known for kind of standing by their coaches when there's a downturn. Is there any buzz to maybe a switch up at the manager position as far as coach is concerned?
It's hard to say. I mean, you guys have seen the reports, right? That the talks have gone cold at this point with regards to Laviolette. And, I think he's a coach who's been given a very difficult task. You know, you're given a team you join a team during a COVID year where, you know, you're holding your coaches meetings from different rooms, but you're in the same rink. You know, you've had 4 straight, you know, first round exits, and then you've had a coach also dealing with injury after injury after injury. But at the same time, you know, can you justify bringing back a coach after a missed playoff berth and nothing to show? But then again, can you say confidently, okay, well, if I'm going to change the coaches, is the next coach I'm going to bring in, is there somebody clearly out there who has a, you know, bigger, better reputation, is on the market, and is going to guaranteed 100% turn things around?
I don't know. What's Barry Trotz doing?
There's, you know what I mean? There's a lot, again, like, it's like, I mean, there's so many different ways to go that. And Laviolette, I mean, he knows how to win. He has a winning history. He's a long tenured coach, you know, and at this point in time, do you want to be like, okay, I'm going to get a assistant coach who's never been a head coach before, coaching a team that's, you know, leaving its window, or, you know, so I think McCollum it's not going to be the season ends, you know, Thursday, he's gone on Friday.
Before we let you go, Sammy, when you get out there on the ice, are you a goal scorer or are you an ass kicker?
I'm not a goal scorer.
The answer is that.
No, actually, I mean, we're starting our league, Ghost Pirates. Yeah,
nice.
There we are.
Yeah, go Ghost Pirates.
Yeah, so I get to wear the C for this lovely team starting in summer, and I love it. It's great. And,
yeah.
No, I'm an ass kicker, you know.
That's why she was in her penalty box to start this.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I finished last season more penalty miss than points. I'm a passer. I'm not a shooter.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the scrummy goal kind of forward. So
yeah,
I'll go in there. You know, I'll push people around. It's kind of cool because if I push somebody and somebody tries to push me back, I'm like, I'm a girl, and then So you know, it's
get away with it.
It's but no, I mean, and thank you guys for letting me do it from the rink. But yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of questions, and you know, I'm not saying I'm gonna sign with the Washington Capitals, but we'll see. You know,
if they're looking for a Tom Wilson understudy, you've got the inside track there.
Yeah.
Well, Sammy, we appreciate it. We're going to let you get back to the ice, Sammy, from the Hockey News Network there. So we appreciate you jumping on with us, covering the beat for the Washington Capitals. Hopefully we have some good things coming, maybe draft coverage. First time Washington's going to be looking at potentially being at the top of the draft in a long time. So some of that's coming up here. So Sammy, again, thank you for joining us here on Ref the District. Until next time.
Go kick some ass.
Oh, I will. Don't you worry.
Here we go.